Konnichiwa, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Welcome to the Digital Nomad webinar. I am Inga Tsagai, I'm a partner with KPMG Romania, and it's my great pleasure to continue today's session now in the English version because we had a very good start. We had the Japanese version of this event earlier today, and we had His Excellency, the Ambassador of Japan, with us, and we were very happy to hear the speech of His Excellency Takashi Katae. Now moving forward, we also have in the connection directly from Japan, Christian Vlad. Hello, Christian. He's a
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Christian is a partner with KPMG Japan, and he's supporting this effort of the Japanese desk in Romania. So I am very delighted that we are here from Romania with this energy, trying to share the knowledge about Romania, about tax, about immigration, and Christian over there as a proud Romanian representing us in Japan. Christian?
Thank you very much, Inga-san. It's such a great pleasure to be part of this wonderful opportunity. I look forward to learning about the digital nomad system in Romania, and I look forward to sharing the news with our friends and colleagues in Japan.
Thank you. And you'll be with us because we'll have a lot of questions, and we'll be very much happy to hear your answers to the questions from those joining today at the webinar. I'm also introducing my colleague that is a senior consultant from KPMG Japan, Ayaka Maekoba. Hello, Ayaka.
Hi, buonasera. I'm really happy to be in this webinar. I was in Japanese session as well, and I hope everyone is interested in Romania. Thank you.
Thank you for being here during this month with us. And Ayaka specializes in international mobility, in immigration topics, and she's been a great help supporting Japanese citizens over this month while here in Romania, especially on the topic of digital nomads. And going directly into the agenda, when we discussed about this opportunity to have such an event, we were thinking, well, but why to hold such an event? Why to bring this knowledge? And talking also to His Excellency, the Ambassador, we understand that Romania is becoming more attractive for the Japanese nationals. We understand the need to prepare everybody with the right toolkit to understand why Romania. So this is why through the session we will go slowly but surely to explain the Romanian context, how Romania aligns with EU rules, how Romania aligns with international rules, and we will cover all this both from an individual perspective traveling, but also for the people that are looking to set up a business in Romania and conduct from Romania operations in this part of the world. And as we deep dive into the subject, let's maybe after these introductions which we made to go directly on this map. And as you notice, we are always looking at Romania not as an isolated country from the rest of the world, but a country that is very much integrated. You will always hear that Romania has this good geopolitical location and geographical location that allows people to travel easily to Romania, but also from Romania onwards. And therefore, in order to do this, the Japanese nationals are benefiting from the special regime. What means is that they are in a privileged position that they can come without a visa to Romania. And how exactly this can happen? One, because they can benefit during this intention of a few things that Romania has to offer. One is the infrastructure. This means that we have good airports in many regions from the country. We have the airports in Bucharest, 2 of them. We have an airport in Cluj-Napoca, which is also a good place to go for those that are in this field of IT and want to be part of the community of more IT people, but also in Iași, which is another big hub that we have in Romania. What Romania has to offer for the ones that are looking to invest as a company, let's say, is, as I mentioned earlier, low barriers for English language, but also highly skilled IT talent. I'm also with KPMG Romania leading the what we call the industry of IT companies in Romania. And what I see is that the companies are very well equipped when they are going abroad. So they are working on international contracts with very good equipment, both from a technological point of view and also the skills. What I also appreciate is that you see us very well, you hear us very well, and this is also due to the fast internet that we have in Romania. As I am a frequent traveler, I rarely experience this perk, and I appreciate it more when I'm going abroad because I realize how good it is in Romania to connect basically from everywhere. If you want as a digital nomad to work from the seaside or maybe in the winter time to go to the mountains, there is very good connection for both working on your tasks, but also maybe chatting and staying in touch with your family members. Last but not least, the strategic EU location. So I will stop here a little bit with a general context to share a personal story. I was not born in Romania. I moved here 25 years ago, and I had many opportunities since then to move out. So I was working abroad and I had many moments where I was reflecting, shall I stay in Romania or should I move out of Romania? And because it feels so accessible, all the time I was coming back to Bucharest, I was reconsidering this opportunity, and finally my decision was to stay. Because I'm very connected personally, my family benefit of all the facilities that I would have in any EU country. There is very good system to practice sports, to learn new things, to have hobbies, and it's also a very safe environment. And I would say that Bucharest, according to the statistics, is amongst the safest capitals in Europe. But coming back to the strategic part of Romania, since Romania is part of the EU, but also of the Schengen, also of the NATO group, then we always benefit of what we say it's integration, because whatever we are doing, we are aligning with our strategic partners. So it's very easy for somebody that is conducting international business to have this scalability. Other advantages could feel more personal to Japanese citizens. And Ayaka, maybe you want to share some advantages that you have experienced while you were here in the past months.
Sure, like as Inga mentioned, like Romania is part of EU and also part of Schengen. Yeah, like I'm from Japan, which is like isolated, like islands. I do feel Romania is like a country in the EU, and I can travel like easily, like without like passport control, like to the other Schengen countries. Yeah, that is the benefit I love. Yeah, Romania.
Thank you for sharing. What I'm always including in this presentations is the personal touch, because when you go abroad, you sometimes have to adjust, and it takes time to adjust, to find the right places where you need to go, what would be the right ways to travel, what would be the places to have the best foods to your taste. Was it easily for you to adjust here in Bucharest?
In Bucharest, like about food or like daily lives. Actually, I didn't have to like adjust. Like just like I'm in Bucharest, but like they have a lot of good foods, good accommodations. Like everything is perfect. Yeah, So like just, I feel like come in, yeah.
So thank you for sharing, because I know it is a personal thing, but for you being new in the city and being by yourself, it's always a good benchmark for somebody to understand how easy it is to adjust when you're coming to the new place. And in the right spirit with the theme of the webinar, the digital nomad, these are important practical advantages, in fact, that we had not only we're thinking about the business, but also how you personally feel. Because when you are in the good place, you can create and you can continue with your work without any interruptions, right? Especially if you have the right food, wine, or people that are very friendly around you and support you. Even if not in the office, even not part of the community, but also when you're going out, it feels very safe and easy to interact. Now, since we talked about the fun part, let's talk about some, facilities that we have for Japanese nationals in terms of the immigration process, but also some paperwork that needs to be done. So I will start by saying that it is possible for Japanese citizens to manage this process on their own, but it is not a problem to get somebody to support. And as KPMG, we are supporting a lot of Japanese nationals for going through such eligibility criteria, assessments before they are coming, and then, let's say, hand-holding them through the actual process. As you notice from the slide, there are only a few conditions that are imposed, so it is quite easy for Japanese nationals to go directly into the actual process of coming to Romania, obtaining the residence permit, and as you notice also, in terms of the deadlines, not only they are very short as opposed to maybe other non-EU nationals, but it is quite a short time frame until when a digital nomad is issued, and it is within the 30 days from the appointment, which is very convenient. And if we are putting this together with the other elements mentioned earlier, becomes, let's say, like an attractive motive for Japanese nationals to choose Romania. Then, when, let's imagine you are considering Romania and you are envisaging your options to come to Romania for maybe longer period, then of course the questions could arise, what scenario you would have, right? And also you were discussing this in the Japanese session in detail, so let me just briefly cover this also in the English session. We have three options: the freelance regime company in the form of limited liability company, for instance, and of course the easy route, which is the digital nomad. What are the differences? Are basically the options depending on what everybody wants to do. So, for instance, if there is somebody that wants to continue the activities from Romania without the need to employ people, more, let's say, straightforward activity, these individuals can register with the Romanian Trade Registry, obtain the license, and practice as a freelancer from Romania, which would then help them when they will be going to other EU member states, or they would have clients through the EU member states. If, for instance, you are envisaging to invest and maybe consider Romania as a hub to maybe connect different companies, or even have a holding structure from Romania, you could envisage the limited liability company option. And this could be a little bit more complex if you are trying to do this on your own. So here again, as KPMG tax and legal, we are very happy to support you through this process. And last but not least, if you are a frequent traveler, you are working from everywhere, there are, let's say, activities that imply for you to travel or work remote, then digital nomad status remains as the easy option to work from Romania. Let's look also at the tax aspects. Maybe before I go into the Romanian part, what are your highlights, let's say, when you compare Romanian taxation with the Japanese taxation?
Okay, let's say the biggest difference is the tax rate, first of all. And in Romania, they have like individual income tax, 10%, which is flat rate. On the other hand, in Japan, like we have like different tax rates according, like depending on the like income. This is the biggest difference, I can say.
Thank you, Ayaka. I was talking to you yesterday about this, and I found like positives and negatives. So I will let you, those of you who joined today, to judge what is the best situation from a tax standpoint. But I find that this 10% flat tax rate is quite attractive. It is easy to manage. There is no big paperwork around it, and also the rules are quite straightforward, I would say, because as a freelancer you have to just register, and then if you are under certain thresholds you have only one per year, the deadline of submitting your annual tax return, so it's quite easy. But on the other hand, what we don't have a social security agreement. So that would mean that any social security charges that you would need to pay, as we are also listing them on the slide, could double if you are also maintaining affiliation with the Japanese social security. I just want to be very clear that yes, the rates are quite high, 25%, 10%, but it is always the small font, because what it says, we have this threshold, so it is not on the income that you obtain, it is calculated based on the threshold. Coming then to the company structure, so if there is this intention to set up a Romanian company, there would be then some conditions depending on the type of activity that would influence the taxation level. So in a nutshell, there are companies that could qualify for micro company taxation of 1%, or big companies that could qualify for 3%, but also for larger revenues or for certain activities will be 16%. Here I would say that it is best to consult before with a tax specialist to understand the exact calculation in order to balance the business case of such a setup. But for the money that you will be taking out of the company in forms of the dividends, things are quite straightforward, because starting 2026 we'll have 16% flat income tax rate and a health fund contribution calculated with the cap, as I mentioned. And when we are talking about the digital nomad status, because you see this is like a red line all the time through the webinar, it is quite simple, because they should very much, the taxation regime will very much depend on the tax residency status. So if you are not becoming tax resident in Romania, then we are in a quite simple position, because there is no income tax due. But however, people that would be assessed as Romanian tax residents, they will have to pay 10% income tax, which is the flat one, similar to what I mentioned for the general rate, and also the social security contributions with the caps and so on. However, what is important to understand is that for tax, the rules are quite simple when it comes to double taxation, because Romania and Japan, we have a treaty.
Yeah.
Yes. And the rules are similar to all the treaties. It means we are preventing double taxation for all types of income that is typical during such commercial partnerships or activities that are happening in both countries. Therefore, we have special rules which could be followed in order to avoid double taxation from the income tax perspective. However, we are not very lucky, as I mentioned also earlier, because for social security purposes, we cannot apply yet any form of avoidance of the double social security charges. And before we close, always happy to share practical tips. And I would invite maybe Christian to share a little bit of what he thinks are the practical things between Romania and Japan that are important to consider.
Thank you very much, Inga. Such an insightful presentation. Thank you so much. From my observations, visiting Romania together with friends, colleagues, and clients from Japan over the past few months, I've seen a lot of interest from Japan, and we've seen very good momentum in this special time in place when geopolitics are becoming extremely important, of very high interest, and mobility is becoming a key to a lot of business people who are exploring their future of work and their future of fiscal residence in Europe. Thank you so much, Inga. Shall we open to some questions and hopefully some answers?
Yes, yes. Let me just share the feedbacks that I have been honored to collect from some clients that came for the first time in Romania. They were surprised how easy it is to connect with other business actors. The networking events were always very easy to establish, meaning that people were open to meetings in the office, but also to have meetings afterwards in more informal environments. So they appreciated very much this openness for the Romanian companies to talk to the Japanese companies and to explore what could be the synergies. This is very important because what I understand about the Japanese culture so far, it's about establishing the trust in each other, and then this trust is followed by commercial collaboration, right? So they found that our entrepreneurs, our companies that are in Romania, are very open. They know, they understand that this trust needs to be established, and they put a lot of focus on this. So they found this as a first advantage. Second, they found English very good for them to find people talking in English, easy to explain about maybe their history as a company. And I was so enjoying a presentation from one of the clients explaining many hundreds of years of company history. It was amazing, and we are open always to look at these steps that companies are taking, because then we understand that it is something that we need also to create here, not Romania as a final destination from the economic perspective, but maybe as slowly becoming a hub to support from Romania countries from the region, from the Central Eastern Europe, but also maybe from the Western Europe. Of course, when there are opportunities, there are always challenges, and it is important to understand these challenges, to discuss about these challenges, because like this, with proper planning, these challenges can be solved. And I would say that sometimes the feeling is that what needs to be done here is over bureaucratic, over strict, and sometimes the need to bring physical documents or to wait for certain approvals can feel like a blocker. But without wanting to repeat myself, yes, this is a reality, but this is also because after these steps are finalized, the companies can rest assured that if there is a litigation, if there is a problem, they have the right laws in place, local EU laws to protect their money, their investments, their time that they put into creating such, let's say, company or a place to conduct business. Before we close out today's session, I may be closing thoughts from your side, Ayaka.
Okay. First of all, thank you for joining this webinar. And I have been in Romania for a month so far, and I found like a lot of like beautiful points in Romania. As I mentioned, like Romania is part of EU and part of Schengen. You have like accessibility to other countries, and also I love the people in Romania, which is who is really like friendly and who is like supporting me all the time. Yeah, so like if you are like considering to like visit Romania, just a little bit of your mind, like just like do it, yeah, and just take an action, please. Yeah, this is my comment.
Thank you,
Today.
Ayaka, and thank you to everybody that joined today. Thank you to my colleagues from the Japanese desks in KPMG Romania that are behind the scenes for organizing this. Thank you, Christian Vlad, for joining us from Japan. And I would like to extend also my gratitude to His Excellency, the Ambassador of Japan to Romania, Mr. Takashi Katae, for joining earlier during the Japanese session, and to everybody at the embassy who are open and understand the importance of the collaboration between Romania and Japan. And in this time, we all of us and together we see a lot of opportunity that is there. And I would like to invite everybody to stay tuned for future webinars that will follow in order to explain more why Romania. Thank you.
Thank you.